Hi everyone, and welcome to today's session. For those of you in the Southern Hemisphere with me, I hope you have had a fantastic Friday and that you are enjoying your Friday evening. And for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope you are having a fantastic start to your day. And to my friends in the US, a happy Thanksgiving to you. So as you jump onto today's session, please do let me know where you are listening in from. I always like knowing how far and wide-reaching these sessions really do go. So, are you going to be the rock or the river? So, in the 90s, there was a movie called Tuck Everlasting. And in this movie, there's a mysterious family, and this young girl happens to meet this mysterious family, and they have a closely guarded family secret that she is made aware of. And one of the members in the family wants her to join them, but another member of the family doesn't want their curse to be her curse. So he takes her out onto the river in a dinghy, and he makes her aware that they are the rocks by the river. They never change. They never grow. They never evolve. Nothing's ever different. Nothing's exciting anymore. Everything is just on a merry-go-round. And he wants her to be the river. The river's always moving. It's always changing. It's always growing. It's always going to new places and carving its own path for itself. It's always having adventures and discovering things along the way. Everything is new and exciting and wonderful. And the river's a roller coaster. It's full of fun. There are ups and downs and twists and turns, but you do it again. Now, I'm choosing to be the man in the dinghy, and you are the young girl that I'm posing this question to. Are you the rock or are you the river? Do you want to keep being the rock, or would you like to become the river? Now, for the young girl, her choice was a permanent choice. Either way, she had to choose to be a rock forever or the river forever. Now, you have to watch the movie to find out what choice she makes. But you don't have the permanency of those two choices. You don't have to be stuck as the rock. You don't have to be stuck on the merry-go-round, stuck in a rut, stuck in a routine. You can become the river. You can change your life, and everything can be new and fun and exciting. I have routine in my life. I have structure in my life, but I have fun within the routine, and I have fun within the structure. And that is what I coach people on. I show you how to have fun in your routine. I show you how to have fun in your structure so that you actually are having the life that you want. So, I want you to consider if there are moments or aspects of your life that you're the rock, and moments and aspects of your life that, yeah, you really are the river. So if you get up in the morning and you fight with your alarm, like you've got a snooze war going on, and you struggle about your day and you just do the bare ass minimum, and you come home and you kind of show up for your family, and then you go to bed exhausted and you do it all again. For me, that's the rock. There's no fun in that. There's no excitement in that. Whereas if you're waking up, jumping out of bed, and you make your bed and you do your morning routine and you spend time with your family and you go to work and you love your job, and there's always something different happening every day within your job, and you come home and you really give your partner attention and you really give the kids some of your time, and you go to bed and you have an amazing night's sleep. For me, that's the river, and you can have that. And I know for some of you, you've always been the rock, and no one's ever told you that you're allowed to be the river. So how do I change, Amy? How do I become the river? Because I know you don't just go from being exhausted to being full of beans overnight. It doesn't happen. You have to make little changes. But it all starts with, what areas of your life are you the rock? Are you just doing a job that pays the bills? When you have skills and talents that you could actually get paid for, that there's actually a career in the things that you're passionate about. When I was at the market on Sunday doing our stall, I was next to a lady. It was her first time at the stall too. And we watched each other's stalls. And there was a lady on the other side of us. And the lady who was helping, we're helping each other, she came back over and she had this box. I'm like, oh, what did you get? She's like, I got gluten-free desserts. And I'm like, ooh. And she opened the box and it was like the most gorgeous lemon meringue tart, the most amazing apple pie, the most cute, tart with blueberries on top, and another cute tart with strawberries on top. And the lady had given this lady a freebie of 2 homemade wagon wheels. And this lady's like, oh, do you want to try one? I'm like, oh, thank you so much. If I said, hey, have a bite of this wagon wheel, and I didn't tell you, you would not have known you were eating gluten-free. So delicious. It was crumbly and, oh, so amazing. So something that someone's passionate about as baking, that's a business. That's a career. People like me, I love to eat sweets. I'm not a baker. I'm a cook. I love cooking savory. Don't ask me to cook sweets because I don't do a good job. But this woman, oh, incredible. So, do you need to change aspects of your job? Do you have too much of a workload? Do you not have enough of workload? So, there are aspects of your life that you really need to consider. Are you the rock or are you the river? With your relationship with your partner, do you love each other? Do you show each other that you love each other? Are you building and making a life together? Do you matter to each other? Or are you just going through the motions and it's better to be with someone than to be alone? And your relationship, you can be the rock or you can be the river. The same with your children. Are you really there for your kids? You're really being an active part of their life? Or you don't even have 5 minutes for them? You're just like, I'm tired. Leave me alone. Go ask your mother. Go ask your dad. So your relationship with your kids can be like the river. Or your relationship with your parents. You might butt heads with your parents, but you can change that. You can change the relationship that you have with your parents. your health and your well-being. There are things that you can change. You can have fun with what you eat. You just need to know what foods that you can eat tons of, what foods you can eat, a bit of, and what foods you need to eat a little bit of. And once you have that, eating and food can be really fun and really exciting. And those foods that you need to have a little bit of, when you have them, they taste so good because you don't feel guilty because you've worked really hard and you've earned that sweet treat. So, where in your life are you the rock? You're stuck in a rut. You're stagnant. Things are just... And what areas of your life are you the river? Everything's amazing. Everything is fantastic. Life is so good. With our pantry staples, I, messaged a market and said, I'd like these dates. And they're like, we've already got someone doing that on those dates. And I'm like, awesome. What dates aren't they at? And I took the dates that they weren't at. And I messaged our head office and they're like, someone's already there. I'm like, it's already sorted. I'm doing the dates they're not doing. Because our company prides itself on exclusivity. It prides itself on not having consultants competing for clients. And I love that. So for me, you can be the river with your side business. That you're always looking for opportunities and you're always having fun and you're doing what needs to be done to pursue your passions. Maybe you need to convert the spare bedroom into a workshop. Maybe you need to convert the garage into a workshop. Maybe you need to convert your shed into a workshop and start pursuing passions. There was a guy at the markets and he's a metal worker, and the lady next to me, she bought this dragonfly piece of metal and it looked beautiful. And there are a few other people walking past that clearly that was his work and he's quite talented. So I would seriously ask you to pursue your passions, even if your passions just start as something that you do after work or something that you do on the weekend. And if it turns into a viable business, you go from working full-time to working 4 days a week, then 3 days a week, then 2 days a week, then 1 day a week, then, you just are casual. So there are ways that you can become the river. And you're going to need guidance, whether it's your GP doing a blood test and letting you, know what you need to change about your health, whether it's seeing a nutritionist or a dietitian to work out your food, or even seeing a food coach to work out your food, or seeing a life coach and, figuring out and rebalancing your mindset, or you need to see a business coach and you need to be told what things in your business need to change for your business to be more effective and more flourishing. So I know you thought that you were always stuck being the rock, but I want you to know that you can be the river. You can flow and you can move and you can carve your own path. You can make your story as beautiful and as wild and as fantastic as you choose it to be. The decision rests with you and what choice you're going to make. Now, you might be sitting there and saying, Amy, I don't have a problem with being the rock. I'm quite comfortable. That's okay. You might become uncomfortable in 6 months. You might become uncomfortable in a year. At least you have the toolkit that when that time comes that you're ready to be the river, you know how to get started and you know what to do. Now, for those of you sitting there saying, Amy, I'm already the river. Can I do anything more? So remember, there are gentle flowing rivers and there are raging rapids. So in the areas of your life that you feel like you're a river, like things are going really well, what could you do to take things up a notch? Could you walk another block? Could you cycle another kilometer? Could you be really good with your food intake? Could you have an even better relationship with your partner? Could you have an even deeper relationship with your children? Could you have an even better bond with your parents? What can you do to go from being just a gentle running river to a raging rapid? You know, you might be a network marketer and you might message 20, 30 people a day. You might start 20, 30 conversations a day. To be a raging rapid, I would encourage you to start messaging 40 to 60 people a day. And when you're ready, 80 to 120 people a day. When you're ready, 160 to 240 people a day. There was, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I started 400 conversations. Some people have gotten back to me, some haven't. But it's fun. It's fun to start a conversation and, you know, see what comes out of it. You might play with your kids and, you know, intentionally they have 30 minutes of your time. And then tomorrow they've got 40 minutes of your time. And maybe next week they get a whole hour of your time that nothing else exists. Remember, a few sessions ago, I shared with you what Tabitha Coffey taught me was when you're at work, your friends and family don't exist. When you're with family, your friends and work don't exist. When you're with your friends, your family and work don't exist unless someone is dying or the home or the salon are on fire or the home or the business are on fire. So when you're at work, your clients and your staff members get all your attention. When with your family gets all your attention. When you're with your friends get all your attention. And they feel loved and respected and appreciated. And you deepen and you strengthen your relationships and your friendships by being totally involved in the moment. And that's another way that you can be a river, because most rocks can be selfish and self-absorbed. But rivers, they're always finding, how can I touch a life? How can I impact on my environment? Rivers love impacting on their environments. So, I hope that you got incredible value out of tonight's session. And I really do hope that you take the time to consider if you're a rock or you're a river. And for those of you that you do identify as the rock, you can reach out to me and we can start creating a plan to turn you into a river. And for those of you that are a river, we can put a plan into place to turn you into a raging rapid. So for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere with me, I hope you have a fantastic Friday evening and enjoy your weekend. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I hope you have a fantastic Friday and that you are looking forward to your weekend. As you know, I never pre-plan the next day's session, so I look forward to what Universe wants to share with you tomorrow. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening or time out of your morning to spend it with me. I do truly value and appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. For those of you that are doing the Power Talk meditation with me, I will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. For everyone else, I will see you tomorrow night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Be safe, be well, much love.